Stopped horn is the technique where we close the bell off with our right hand and we get a buzzy sound. We can do this in the soft dynamics, but it is best done in the louder dynamics so it can pierce through the texture of the ensemble. This can be done with the hand or with a stop mute. In addition to hand stopping, we have stop mutes. They're usually made out of brass, wood, or some other kind of metal. Most horn players at a graduate level or higher will have a stop mute, but your average undergrad student might not. So you may want to just assume to write everything to be stopped with the hand. What the stop mute does is provide clarity, projection, and it stabilizes pitch as well. We can almost play pretty much as normal with the stop mute. The other thing the stop mute does is allow for low register to project, be much clearer, and much more in tune. So this is a must-have tool for musicians interested in playing stopped horn with much more projection and clarity. Some horn players may have a mute where the bells can screw off and have different options. Do not assume most players have these, even professionals, but they are becoming a little bit more common. This allows the sound to be directional rather than reflective. With the sound coming out of the bell like this, it's going to be very loud, and this is really good for situations like in Tchaik 6, where the fourth horn has to stop a low C sharp, and we get a lot more projection and volume with this. Personally, I use this very rarely. In a section, it's actually too loud. If everyone were using them, that would be a different story. But this would be a good option, maybe for a solo setting or a larger chamber setting where there's enough sound that you do need to project. Just as we need to consider time to change mutes for stopping, we do the same with a regular straight mute. This is something that you can expect just about every horn player to have. Now, I wouldn't consider this an extended technique, but I've run into many problems in music where we don't have enough time to put in the mute. It's as simple as that. So I would recommend giving at least a bar or two if the tempo is medium enough. If it's fast, give a few bars. There's nothing like dinging your bell or putting a dent in your horn just because you don't have enough time to put a mute in. So to give you an idea, if you rest your mute on the ground, obviously it's going to take longer, but most of them have strings, so we can just hold them on our wrist. So we can get it in there pretty quickly, but if the setting is really quiet, I would recommend providing much more time for the musicians to put their mutes in, because something like really resonates in a hall. And if it's a really delicate moment with the strings or woodwinds or a singer, that could dampen the mood. So provide enough time so the hornist can carefully put the mute in. And take it out.